What's going on, guys? It's Greg Meets Ghost Dies, and for this Wednesday's tutorial we have my pattern in the DNA, but this is actually a pattern that I've used in the Mirage and the Rebel offense and the DNA. I first came up with it when we were using the Mirage, and I've loved it ever since and converted it really well to all of our heads. So the pattern I actually use with our vortex mesh. Way long ago I used to use double U's and I loved it, and then they made the new rules for the shooting strings, and so that's why vortex mesh came out, is to give you more hold in that kind of U shooting string feel without having to break the shooting string rule, which is at all levels now. So you can see this is a version of my pocket in the Mirage with the vortex mesh, and the vortex has those really big diamonds right here in the sweet spot that grab the ball kind of like a U. Add a little bit of hold, add a little bit of whip, and I really love it. But today I'm going to show you guys the Hero 3 version, which turns out really nice and really smooth. You can use this in the Mirage, the Rebel offense, or the DNA. I've used it in all three. And if you use the Hero 3 version, it's a really smooth pocket, and I would recommend it for a lot of you guys. If you'd like a little more whip and hold, you can switch it to the Vortex. So here we've got the DNA, regular 9-diamond top string. For this, you're going to need to know how to do knotted SIs, which we've broken a tutorial down for separately. So if you don't know how to do them, go over there, check it out. I'll also show you as we break down the sidewall pattern. So you can see here we've got the top string on the second sidewall hole of the DNA, and then we're going to start our sidewall pattern like we generally do on the third sidewall hole with a double loop. So go into the outside of the plastic from the face to the back of the mesh, loop back around and go through that same sidewall hole again, and then you're going to repeat that process a second time. So back through the first 10-diamond row of mesh, and then back through that same sidewall, creating a double loop just for a little extra tightness, and then back through the mesh, and then we're going to be ready to go down the sidewall. So here we're going to do 3 knotted SIs, skipping a hole between each. So for this one, you're going to start by going from the back to the front of the next hole of mesh, just like that, and then skipping hole, you're going to go into the outside of the plastic, and then without going through the mesh again, you're going to come over around the top and create an overhand knot, and then pull that nice and tight and lock the knot down. And now you're going to go back through from the face to the back of that same mesh hole, and that's going to create your knotted SI. You'll see the mesh will get pulled down and around that knot, keeping it extra tight, just like that. So we're going to repeat that process a second time, from the back to the front of the mesh, through the outside of the sidewall, and then up and around with the string over the top to create that overhand knot. Pull it nice and tight, make sure you get all that slack out, and then you're going to take the string from the face to the back of the mesh, complete your knotted SI, and pull it around. Then we're going to do it one more time, skipping another sidewall hole. So yeah, skip, we're going to do another skip here, pulling that mesh down nice and tight, and executing that third knotted SI. This is going to get that channel nice and tight, just like we want it. So you can see those are done. It's nice and tight right there. Now we're going to do another knotted SI, but without skipping any holes. So this is going to start to bunch the mesh up just a little bit. So next hole, don't skip any sidewall holes. Go right to the next one and do the same procedure for the knotted SI as you just did 3 times. If you need help on that knot, there's a separate tutorial so you can really get it down. So now I've got that done. We're going to do just a simple one with a knot. So this time we're going to go right into the mesh from the face to the back, and then we're going to go right into the sidewall, not back into the mesh, because this is just a simple one, and we're going to do a knot there just to keep the pattern consistent with how we did the SIs. So that's going to be the start of that pocket depth. Now we're going to do 2 1 knotted SIs in a row. It sounds more complicated than it is. So just like the one, we're going to come from the front to the back of that next diamond of mesh, and then we're going to go right into a second diamond of mesh from the back to the front. And this is going to be the one we're going to knot an SI. So here we're going to then skip a sidewall hole, come right down here, do our knot just like we did for our knotted SIs, pull out the slack, and then you're going to come from the face to the back of just that second hole of mesh. So there's one sidewall hole that's going to going to float, or one mesh hole is going to float, and then the second one gets the knotted SI. So now we're going to do that same process again, skipping another sidewall hole, same exact thing again, from the face to the back of the next hole mesh, then from the back to the front without going through the plastic. So you've got 2 holes of mesh there going in opposite directions. Skip a hole through the outside of the plastic, wrap around and make that knot, and we're going to finish this sidewall pattern off right here by finishing that knotted SI just like we did all the others. And once you've done that, you're all done, and you don't have to do any more mesh. You can just go right through and do your tie off at the next sidewall hole. All right, guys, so once you've got the sidewall done, the pocket should look pretty good. For the bottom string, I just do a simple loop on the next 10 diamond row down just to give it a little more depth down here at the bottom for one-handed cradling since I play attack. For the shooting strings, I've got it super simple. 1 nylon, 1 straight up on the 9 diamond rows. Works well with the Vortex, should work well with this. If you need a little more whip with the standard Hero 3, you can move them down a row. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave in the comments what other players' pockets you'd like to see me replicate. And thanks for watching.